Is Saturday, December 9th. We only have one NBA game today, the in-season tournament championship between the Pacers and the Lakers. I am going to start my day one ladder day challenge. So let me give you those two picks, and it's going to be Obi Toppin's more fantasy score at 20.5, and I'll be taking the Anthony Davis first half fantasy score, as it's usually a fast starter. And given the game, I think it's going to be a high scoring game, fast pace. So that's how I'll be taking Anthony Davis first half fantasy. But I do have 5 solid picks for the full game. I do have more fantasy scores for the first half that I like. So let's get started on those 5 picks. And we're going to go head on to NBA first half. And we're going to go straight to fantasy scores. And first one that comes up for me is Obi Toppin. Obviously, I took his full game fantasy. I think he's going to go well over on both of them. So I'll be taking his first half. My second one will be Taurean Prince at 7.5. He's been averaging about 10 fantasy points in the first half. So I'll be taking the first half over. He usually shoots a couple 3-pointers as well, so it should help his fantasy score. And my next one will be D'Angelo Russell. He's also a fast starter. I like to push equity here at 14. If it gets bumped to 14.5, suggest you fade it. But I think he's going to go well over 14. I just like to push equity just in case. So those are the 3 I'll be going for the first half. Obviously, Anthony Davis is another good option since I took it on my ladder day. But let's head on over to full game props. And obviously, the first one that comes up for fantasy score is Tyrese Halliburton at 54. I think he's going to crush this line. He's going to have a huge game. I think he's going to have multiple assists. He might have a double-double. I will take LeBron James in this one, but all his lines are very inflated. At 52.5, he hasn't reached this. And last game against Phoenix, New Orleans Pelicans, he didn't even go over 50. I think he's going to have a big game, but I'm just not sure if he's going to show up or if it's Anthony Davis that's going to have a big game. One of these two guys is going to have a big game. That's why I'm going to be sticking to Anthony Davis first half because he's been consistent in the first half fantasy score. So I'll be sticking with that. For LeBron James, as much as I want to take for his fantasy score, I'm going to fade it. I just think it's too high. All his lines are very too high. So I'm going to go with Tyrese Halliburton over fantasy. And my last one I'm going to go with is Buddy Hield. And I'll be taking his fantasy score as he's usually the secondary option for the Pacers. Miles Turner is another option. His rebound prop is good. But I think Buddy Hield is going to have a high scoring game. Should help his fantasy score at 25.5. You want to look at his past couple games. He's gone 3 of the 5. But usually the last 2 elimination games, he's gone over 30. I don't think it's going to change. I think he's going to go over 30 again. So I'll be taking them more on that. Those are the 5 that I like for today's championship game. Obi Toppin, Taurean Prince, D'Angelo Russell's first half fantasy over, Tyrese Halliburton over fantasy, and Buddy Hield over fantasy. All other props, the secondary props such as assists, I just think it's way too inflated. This should be actually 11.5. It's always 12.5. Austin Reeves usually should be at 4, 3.5. That's also inflated. This should be at 7. Some of these lines are very inflated. Rebound props, the only one that I like for rebounds is Austin Reeves at 4. So that's another option you guys want to take. And pretty much it. Anthony Davis 13.5, a little bit too high, but obviously he has a ceiling of 20. But you can see his past 5. You want to take the gamble on that. Usually I don't listen to the last 5. I go by his average, and he usually averages about 12 rebounds a game. Those are the 5 I'll be going. Mix and match. Pick your favorite. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.